Hey everyone, thanks for coming back to the channel. This is a little commentary on the need for some difference in training for our defense tactics in the face of an active shooter. And this is lesson learned from the recent Buffalo massacre of the black folks in Buffalo, New York, at the Tops Friendly Market. Um, the the shooter was armored up. Armored up meaning wearing. We don't know. I don't know if it was a ceramic chest plate, in which case it would stop rifle rounds, or a level 3A, which would not, but it would stop pistol rounds. Now, what's important about, and I have body armor. I have concealable soft body armor that's stab proof and goes up and stops up to 44 magnum loads. Now, having said that, I have no intention of getting shot in the body armor with that kind of caliber. Why? Because I would have blunt force trauma because I don't have a trauma plate underneath. What that means is that although the security guard did fire on the person and got hits apparently, but the hits were center of mass on the body armor, and apparently when the caliber or the power of the rounds were not sufficient to stop the threat or create enough blunt force trauma to hurt the shooter so bad that he's going to stop. Now that's important in why I'm getting ready to say what I'm going to say. We are not going to be running around in our normal day carrying long guns for our protection. Rarely would we even have a so-called truck gun where you have some kind of long gun in our vehicle, either in the trunk or in the back seat or in some kind of safe. So we're normally going to be walking around with some kind of pistol of varying calibers and so forth. Today, I'm deep concealed carrying my. I love this gun. My XD S is in Sierra Compact 2.0 45 caliber. This is a 3.3 inch barrel. Now, I'll come back to this in a minute. The because the shooter was wearing body protection in the center of mass area, our training doesn't recognize that right away. So the first rounds we tend to put on somebody that's coming at us is center of mass, center of mass, center of mass, right? Well, I'm going to suggest that we change that and you go back to your range and you start training differently. How I've been training for a while now is groin shot, groin shot, groin shot, below the belt, below the belt, below the belt, pelvic area. Because that's almost always below any kind of body armor that anyone is wearing. Now, I've talked to a couple people who are in law enforcement and read stories of those who have been shot in the pelvic area. It absolutely 100% of the time stops the shooter. It stops the threat. One, it dismantles the bones in that area. But more importantly, the pain. The pain is so intense that almost always the person passes out almost instantly because of the pain. So had that shooter in Buffalo been hit even with a decent caliber pistol in the groin area or in the pelvic area below or at the belt line, he definitely would have stopped and he definitely would have gone down. Now let me come back to what I'm carrying today. I'd have to be pretty close. Pretty close means to me inside of 10 yards to make an accurate shot, because I only got 6 shots in this guy. To make a reasonable probability of hitting that area. And one of the reasons is the person would be moving. So you need to train in how to target moving targets, and then you need to start training. Your first rounds are not center of mass. Your first rounds are below the belt. And that works whether or not the person is wearing body armor. Now, some would say, well, he can still fire his gun. Trust me. Trust me. If somebody gets hit there, the last thing they're thinking about is firing their weapon. I don't care how badass they are. I don't care if they're the top student in their bud school at Navy SEAL school. They are going to go down, and they're going to be in pain, and they're not going to do anything except try to figure out how to make the pain go away. Now, if the person is still squirming around and trying to get their firearm, and I'm talking about you as a civilian now, not a cop, you're going to go up and you're going to investigate, and you're going to see they're trying to get the gun, and then you put one in the melon, and then they're done. You have now completely stopped the threat. Just saying. So think about that as you go to your next training session. Think about the caliber you're going to carry. Think about how you're going to retrain yourself to go not center of mass, but the pelvic area just below the belt, and then you can come up to center of mass if you want to, which would probably be the melon as they're dropping down. So that's my message to everyone, because of the what I'm thinking now is the lessons learned from this terrible tragedy in Buffalo. As always, thanks for watching. If you like the content, please subscribe, hit that bell icon. Please forward the message around. And as always, carry on.